Today I'm gonna talk about my favorite plugins for music production and for mixing and mastering. Come with me. First, let's start by talking about the music production plugins that I use, and then we'll go and talk about mixing and mastering plugins. The first one I want to recommend is Serum. This one is really popular, but it's great. I really love it. It's a wavetable synthesizer, so you can create a bunch of sounds here: pop sounds, rock sounds, EDM sounds, house sounds, anything you can think of, like really mellow sounds or aggressive sounds. You'll be able to do it here on Serum. You find a lot of presets on Splice, which is great if you don't really know about sound design, or if you know, you can start by a preset and then shape it. You have envelopes, you have LFOs, you have filters, different oscillators, so it's actually great, and I use it on almost all my productions if they use any kind of electronic synthesizer sound. For example, here. Also here. Great. The next one is Kontakt. It's also really popular. In this case, I'm using a Kontakt. If you don't know it, is a player. So basically, you can drop libraries from Native Instruments, is the company that makes the plugin, or from third-party companies that develop libraries in order to be played here on Kontakt. These are all the libraries that I have. I did the investment and I paid for the collector's edition. That's the biggest one, and I have a bunch of libraries. I use Kontakt mainly for like real instruments, for example, drums, strings, basses, acoustic guitars, nylon guitars, cinematic elements, pianos, ukulele, percussions, Latin percussion, choirs, different types of piano, West African instruments, Cuban instruments, Asian instruments. So really everything you can think of, you have it right here on Kontakt. And if you're a producer and you produce like acoustic or music that has acoustic instruments or recorded instruments, if you don't have them and you don't play them, Kontakt will be definitely your best friend. The next one I want to talk about is Guitar Rig. This is a plugin that I've talked about a lot in the channel, and it's basically a plugin made for guitars or basses, but you can use it on so much more, since you have a bunch of effects, a bunch of tools that you can use, such as compressors, gators, slicers, delays, reverb, distortion, saturation. So basically, you can do anything with Guitar Rig. You can use it for mixing and mastering, or even for sound design. In this case, I'm using it for bass and guitar, so it sounds like this. For example, here. Sounds great. Then recently I bought this drum plugin that is called Modern and Massive, and it's amazing. You can use it for all kinds of music styles, from pop to metal. It's super versatile, so you can do heavy stuff or really like mainstream elements. Here you can click on any part of the drum kit and you can replace it right away. You have a mixer with plugins to mix in the plugin the drum. You have grooves, you have presets, and sounds really good. Sounds like this. So if you're really looking for a drum kit, I definitely recommend Modern and Massive too. Last but not least, I would like to recommend Trigger. This is another plugin that I use for my productions. When someone sends me a drum recording that is not great, you can replace or even blend the original sample with the original recording with some samples. You have great samples right here. You can buy some more, but you have samples from CLA, from great mixing engineers, and it sounds great. And this could actually bring a bad drum recording into a great sounding drum. You could even record drums like playing on a table, and then you can separate each part and make it into an actual drum kit or snare or tom. It doesn't have cymbals, but it has kicks, snares, drums, toms, sorry, and sounds amazing. Let's go to the mixing part. Here I want to recommend, I love iZotope. I love their plugins. I think they're great. I use a lot Neutron 5. Here you have a bunch of modules. So you have a clipper, 2 compressors, density, that is upward compressor. You have an equalizer, exciter, gate, phase, sculpture, transient shape. So you have a bunch of stuff. Anything you can use to mix a song, you have it in here. Also, I like to recommend Nectar. It's the same thing, but is orientated for vocals, basically. So you have everything that you could actually need to mix a vocal. You have a vocal writer here. You have an equalizer. The equalizer has a cool function that you can tell them to follow a harmonic, and it will follow dynamically that harmonic, which is awesome for vocals. You have compressors, de-essers, delay, effects like chorus, flanger, gate, reverb, saturation. You can even create harmonies. So it's actually pretty cool. You can work really fast and you can have really cool results. If you like the way that I produce, or the way that I mix, or the way that I teach, we can work together. Below you'll find my email. Send me a message in order to have more information. I like to combine the iZotope plugins with Universal Audio. I have the Apollo, so I really take advantage of that. And my favorite tools are the compressors. The 1176 is great. The LA28 is another one that I use. I use it on vocals, on strings, on pianos, acoustic guitars. It's really gentle, it's really natural, it's really musical. And you also will be getting from the 1176 and from the LA28 saturation, natural saturation. So you will be making your mix richer, fuller, and it will sound closer to an actual analog mix. Also, you have the Fairchild, is an amazing compressor, but my favorite one is the Distressor. This is a mix of a compressor and also saturation. So you can distort the signal, you can heavily compress, but you can also compress really gentle. So it works for everything. Could be fast and aggressive, could be slow and musical. So anything you need, the Distressor will be there for you. Another tool is the Pultec EQ. This EQ is the best one. I usually use the Neutron one in order to cut, reduce resonances, frequencies that I don't like. And then I use this one to boost the ones that I do like and to add another color, another saturation, and it's great. Then I like to recommend for the Mix Bus, the SSL G-Bus compressor. I usually like to use this like this, so ratio really gentle, attack really slow, and release really fast. I like to filter the detection circuit to 100 Hertz, and then I like to compress like 1 or 2 dBs, and that will give you like a lot of glue in your mix, and they will sound really, really good. Last one is the Soothe. This one is great. I really, really like it. If you don't know it, it's also really popular, but works dynamically. So for example, if I'm putting this red dot here, it will work. The more you put it up, the more frequency of signal will take out from that part. So it's great for controlling resonances, to reduce a muddy signal, and then you have a lot of parameters to shape it and to do whatever you need with the signal. It works dynamically, so it's not always taking away this much 7.5 dBs, but it's actually listening to the sound and working based on what it considers like the best thing for your sound. It works great, it's super natural, it's transparent, sounds amazing, and you have a bunch of presets in case you want to use them. I have, and they're great. If you liked the video, remember to give me a like, subscribe to the channel, activate the bell in order to receive notifications Each time I upload a new video, we talk here about music production, mixing and mastering, and a lot more. Below in the comment sections, leave me any thoughts, idea for future video, questions, or anything you have. I'll be answering to each single one of you. Follow me also in my social networks if you haven't, and I'll see you next week with a new video. Bye guys!